1, 2, 3. They're very disciplined. They clearly want to be there badly because they're getting up at a ridiculous time in the morning to be there and work. And then they get up and they just get beaten with criticism. Okay, you guys, we got to work harder. We're just constantly pushing and driving because we know what they're capable of.
I'm here every single morning at 6:30. I don't leave school sometimes until about 10 o'clock at night. I find that when I finally do start playing, that the tiredness just kind of fades away and the emotion comes out through the horn.
When I practice, I try not to think about it as practicing.
I try to practice every day.
Probably like 45 minutes to an hour.
30 minutes, 20 minutes.
It just depends. It's not really enough.
I try to think about it as I'm getting my fingers and my hands more able to communicate what I'm thinking.
I listen a lot. I think that's what I do the most. For a while, I would just come home from school and listen for like 3 hours to different kinds of jazz, and that really opened my eyes and ears.
Mistakes are proof that you are trying. So we really try to get the idea across that it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are how you grow. Mistakes are how you learn. Otherwise, you are not going to progress at all.
You're on the line a lot more. You're your own person. Like, you're not just a guy standing there with a saxophone. You're a guy like speaking through a saxophone.
You can't show up unprepared. There's a lot of times where you have to do stuff even when you don't want to, and even when it's not fun, and practice the technique and all the boring stuff. You have to do that with the mindset that it's going to pay off and it's going to be exciting.
I think a good working group, no matter the size, it's like a school of fish. So they're all moving in and out of their little pod, but they're all going in the same direction. And the sunlight shines off of them in different ways. So it makes differences in between the group, but they're all together and they're all flowing without even thinking about it. They're just with each other.
When the band is working together amazingly, I don't know if you've ever surfed before, but it feels like you've surfed the biggest wave in the world.